I'm here on Charlotte Street, heading to the studio of dMFK. They're doing something really exciting in the basement, and I'm going to find out what that is.
The idea came to fruition after having a couple of years in this fantastic office upstairs. It's been a brilliant office for us. It is a very digital office and it has some shortcomings. There's not enough spaces to meet. There's really nowhere to lay samples out, nowhere to make a mess. It's quite formal up here almost, but it's working very well for us. So we'd always had our eye on doing something interesting downstairs. This used to be the Channel 4 building, and that sound studio no longer had any access and it was quite difficult to use, so it was prime space for us to take.
Wow, great space. So tell me, what are you doing here?
So the idea of this is to create a space that's a bit workplace, so we'll have people down here, and whatever we don't have upstairs, we'll have here. So if it's a desk, it's bigger. If it's a screen, it's bigger. If it's a work booth, it's bigger. There's private places to have calls, meeting rooms and things like that. But the main thing is that we want to, in addition to it being a workspace, be a place where we can explore with our suppliers interesting, innovative materials. We can have seminars, teaching, and then that teaching and education stuff sort of roll into more fun evening events and things like that, and just try and welcome as many people into the space as possible. It's basically divided into a series of areas. There's a workplace over here, so on that side of the space, which was previously, this was previously a sound studio, and it was completely dark. So we've opened up the front, which you can see at the far end there. When that's opened up properly, there'll be loads of light coming down here. So it's very nicely orientated. And then this area here, we'll be using airman desks, along with hopefully working with Kvadrat, who are going to supply their really product for the surfaces, which would be this recycled denim. And this area here would be a flexible workspace, which we can clear away. And then these two areas here, one of them is going to be a big presentation area with a 5-meter long table, which has a residential feel that will then be set in a commercial kind of environment. And that's kind of the vibe we're interested in. Over here, we're doing a kind of residential or a more of a living room setting, and we're working with 2021, who are helping us, and they're going to be supplying a kind of rotating sort of show of different residential furniture in here. So we don't really know what we're going to get, but it's an opportunity for suppliers to put products in here.
And so this is where the material library is going to go?
Yes, this will be nearly 8 meters long, and wrapping around the corner will be a huge sample library where we sort of combining our regular suppliers with new suppliers and bringing and allowing people to really show off interesting products. And the idea is that all our clients will come down here. We're going to build a gigantic bar. So there's a 5-meter long bar here, and that will be where we lay out samples. But then at night, that'll turn into a bar and a kind of DJ booth. Ceilings, we're working with a company called Oscar Acoustics. Acoustics super important in a workspace, mainly because we've got a lot of people doing a lot of different things, making conference calls, having meetings, and we need this to be acoustically kind of dead in here. And similarly on the floors, we're working with Sphere 8, who are going to help us test a new product, which is plant-based resin on the floors, but using recycled plastics to create a kind of plastic terrazzo or recycled material. Where the wall used to be, this is a huge glazed wall that's going in. This used to be a previous light well in the building's former life. There'll be a huge amount of light pouring through here. It's really nicely orientated. And then across the wall, across the back here, we're putting a wall-to-wall, end-to-end mirror. At the moment, it doesn't look much, but hopefully that light there, you'll really feel it, and we're going to fill that with planting. Hopefully it'll be super dramatic down here. It's not the highest space in the world, but I think actually we're kind of trying to lean into that.
Great. Well, I look forward to seeing it take shape. Maybe next time I won't have to wear a helmet.
Our workplaces are blurring the lines between different kind of uses of hospitality, the home, workplace, and other typologies that typically are quite separated. We're trying to make sure that the workplace, we can strike an interesting balance between all of those different areas to address the need for the workplace to evolve and to attract people back to the office.
So 3 months have passed since I was last here on Charlotte Street at dMFK. What's changed?
There's been a lot going on. I think that this concept of the whole thing of engaging with suppliers and bringing them into the whole story and having them be involved in it has grown. I've been very focused on making sure that we always make it demountable. I want it to be a place that has multiple uses and is flexible and is welcome to as many people as possible.
This is it, 3 months on. I think this is all opened up. It's amazing, the transformation, just the light that is spilling in from street level.
We've been waiting quite a long time for it to be all opened up. And we've installed this mirror across here, which is kind of quite an easy thing to do, but it immediately doubles the size of the light well. At the moment, it's all quite utilitarian, but we're going to absolutely fill it with plants and lighting. I think the mirror really helps with doubling the amount of light in here, and it throws a lot of light inside. I think it will work in the winter as well, because the low sun comes straight down into it. But it was quite amazing when we opened it up.
In terms of the creative, from what I can gather, the floor plan seems pretty much as we saw it whenever we first met.
Yep.
Has everything stayed pretty static? Have you had to make any creative changes?
I've just tried to hold the line on making sure everything is demountable. Basically, it's pretty much stayed the same. This will be a beautiful meeting area. We have this table from a company called Nikari, who are from Finland. You can break the whole thing down, put it in the storeroom, and then the desks will all break down as well. And the idea of that is that this can also be used for education, lecturing, or a party, or whatever we want it to be. So the idea of downstairs is to be flexible in a way that upstairs just isn't.
I'm seeing a lot of labels saying workshop wall.
Yes.
What is all this kit? What's that going to be?
So workshop is a code for all of the different elements and pieces that go into our process when we're doing interiors. So again, upstairs, it's all just shoved in drawers and it's not very effective. So as lovely as upstairs is, we just haven't had the ability to just get products out and available to us to really start to sort of play with and to have at hand. We are in touch with a lot of suppliers who are, some of them have helped get some of the surfaces sorted in here and want to show some things off. We've allowed them to test things they've never done before, and others will just fill the workshop.
You mentioned the bar.
Yeah.
That's going here.
Yeah.
How's that coming along? What's the plan?
Really good. We've worked with a company called Avant-Garde, and they are specialists in all kinds of terrazzo. It's quite lightweight terrazzo. They're making a grey concrete terrazzo top, which will be 5 meters long. And this is where we're going to be bringing all our suppliers, chatting about materials and this whole sample library across here, which is a place where we can lay out samples, something we just can't do upstairs. This thing will be made in sections and then brought to site and then ground down and brought together into a single piece. And it's sitting on a base that's made of the same material, a combination of the same material, and also this stained oak, which then matches what we have upstairs. So yeah, it should be really interesting. It's, it looks like a heavy piece of stone, but it's actually quite lightweight. On the floor over here, you can see we've done all the floors. It's a very, very swirly figured resin by a company called Sphere 8. And then on the back floor over there, they've tried a new product that they've never used before, which is resin that has pieces of recycled plastic that are ground in to look like a mosaic.
Well, why don't we head upstairs and have a look at some of these material aspects. So downstairs is beautiful, but it's still looking pretty austere.
Yeah.
It's going to be these materials that bring the space to life. So tell me, what are we looking at?
We are looking at quite neutral tones, but trying to use innovative products to sort of pop in different places. So we're doing, the bar is going to be made by a company called Avant-Garde, and this will be a very lightweight terrazzo that's kind of a sort of oversized aggregate concrete. And then there are touches like beautiful rugs, these are from Wood Notes, and then all the furniture and chairs are going to be in kind of pinky tones, pink and green, because the walls have got a lot of green in them. There's a bit of grey on the floor. Yeah, and then on the joinery, it's going to be very much like the joinery we see behind us here, which is to bring the two floors together, but then with an added back panel, which is in this oak, and that is a pegboard that we can then hang other people's materials on. So hopefully that will appear very, very lively. I am looking forward to seeing an event actually happen in there and to feel the relief of the limitations that we find up here. So I think that we've built in so many things from having lived in this office for 3 years. Every decision that we made was that if it's a table, it's going to be bigger. If it's a desk, it's going to be bigger. If it's going to be a screen, it's going to be bigger. If it's a chair, it's more comfortable. All of these kind of things. So watching those things sort of come to fruition, and also being able to welcome outsiders and collaborators in and watching that all play out, whether that's through a round table or a party or an event, or just watching people gathering around and properly being able to judge materials against one another and encouraging suppliers to come through. I think that's the thing that we're lacking up here, and we do it, but to have a place that's manifestly about materials, I think is what I'm really looking forward to. It'll be very exciting, that's what we do.
The sun may be shining, but it's now autumn here on Charlotte Street, and it's been months since I first visited that derelict basement space here at dMFK. But they saw the potential. They wanted to create a space that could adapt and flex with the team, a modern material lab, and somewhere that they could use to host events. Have they been successful? Let's see. Wow, it's magnificent. I mean, I have to say, what a difference a few weeks can make.
I think that the challenge of first of all transforming a basement space to make something that really feels that it has outlook, that it has kind of vistas and distance was the first challenge, and then to make it feel like a workspace, but also to give it soft residential kind of character, to make it feel warm and approachable.
This feels to me like a project of detail. I almost don't know where to start. These workspaces, I mean, what's the plan here? Will people be transitioning from upstairs?
We operate a completely flexible desking arrangement, and the idea of that is to get people moving around, get people meeting each other, and to use spaces in the way that we all do these days. What we said was we wanted, if it's a desk, it's bigger. If it's a booth, it's better and bigger. So everything down here would be in some way kind of more attractive than upstairs. Every single piece of furniture is designed to be demountable and easily movable. This product is an airman table. It was designed in the early 50s as an architect's desk, and actually it's just a real testament to great design.
I love the way the light interacts with the floor, these cascading waves of texture. Tell me about the floor.
Floor is a very thin resin by a company called Sphere 8. It's a water-based resin, and they mix two colours together to create a swirl in the floor, because when you have very flat coloured resins, they quite often show a lot of marking and dirt, and we wanted to maximise the movement in the floor.
And it does feel that there's this beautiful transition from perhaps a more traditional workspace into something that feels a little more homely, perhaps.
Yes, although for us, the blend of homeliness and workspace, they go together, and that's the nature of the market at the moment, and that's how we want to feel when we're in our workplaces. It's very unusual to see a 5-metre long domestic feeling table, so on the one hand it sort of slightly wrong foots you because it looks like a kitchen table, but it's 5 metres long. It's made by a company called Nikari. It's solid, it's built for 100 years, so when we're done with it, someone else will have it and it's going to be refinished, and the whole story of materials having longevity. I really love the way this has a kind of slightly lower, slightly more residential character about it. The lights we got from Hitari, they're J-oscopy designed, harking back to the world of Japanese paper light design. The rug here is from Wood Notes, and it's made of paper yarn. Very, very durable, very well made and sustainable, and we just feel if we select products that are really great quality, they'll be the ones that last the longest, and they are the most sustainable ones.
This really robust, substantial terrazzo effect counter is calling to me. It's impressive.
We basically work with this company called Avant-Garde, and they do a lot of stonework with us. Even though this is a sort of a surface that you might be familiar from looking at concrete cores, for example, actually it's not something that's done that often. This is Thames flint, and it doesn't stick very well to normal cement. So actually this product is a combination of resin, a little bit of cement, but also it's filled with recycled aluminium cans, which gives it its color and enables the flint to stick to the binder. And the idea of this is it works in conjunction with our really lovely sample library, and we can use it to bring clients down to compare samples. When we started laying out the library, I was very clear because it didn't want to look like a showroom. It wanted to look like Grandpa's shed, as in every kind of material, every option. So you could pull and pick and play and just and bring them out and lay them out here and really compare. And so far, we've brought quite a few clients down and they love it. They really enjoy flicking through all the different samples. So it's really about testing. And quite often, it's very easy as a designer to fall into the same kinds of decisions every single time, sort of making similar kind of material decisions. So here, there's a real playground to sort of try a what if and how about. And there are sort of decisions that we made down here, for example, this furniture, which I never would have done or wouldn't have chosen because it's there and because it's in front of you, you're more likely to pick it. Both pieces were designed by William Plunkett in the 70s. He was quite a commercial designer in his time, and actually these were on the QE2. They were in every Russell and Bromley shop, and we used them recently on a 1970s building, and they worked really well, but I would never naturally have put these in here. The ceilings in here, we used a similar product called Sonar Spray from Oscar Acoustics, and down here they wanted to try this version that they'd never done before, which uses recycled newspaper. You can see actually the newspaper print within it, but that massively helps the acoustics in this space, which feel very dead, and it's a very comfortable place to be, which in workspace is everything. We need space to make Zoom calls and be private and to be out of the office, and we work with a company called The Collective who helped us with these acoustic linings, and when you've got your head in one of these booths, they're incredibly acoustically separate. We've done this garden along the outside, and that's all lit from the pots. So at night, there's this kind of glowing garden, the grazer light, and then obviously we've got this mirror that then reflects the space back on itself. So that acts as a light source back into the space as well. So all those things give the space depth. I think the thing that's really amazing me is how lovely it is to work in a basement, and the sort of sense of calm you get from that, the sense of focus that you get, the way that it's possible to use a very, very narrow light well and mirror it in order to create a really beautiful visual effect and to create a sense of amenity in a place that doesn't actually have any visual amenity at all. I think the thing I'm most proud of is the way we've managed to work with lots and lots of different suppliers who are trying stuff on us and managing to balance up a very soft, gentle, workable aesthetic that feels very dMFK, but that's starting to explore other kinds of looks, which is the whole point of doing this in the first place, is to engage and to come up with ideas and use products that we've never used before.